Welcome back to Celebrity Radio. It's Alex Belfield talking to an old friend and one of my favourite people, Matt Goss. How are you?
Good to see you, mate, I tell you.
We have never been in this room before. Here we are at Oake here at the Mirage, and what a beautiful room. It's sensational.
Yeah, I think it's the most glamorous showroom in Vegas now. It's just, everything about it is just opulent and just it's really beautiful. Once we start putting our sound into there and I do my thing with the audience, it's just a very magical night, you know. So for me, it's I'm very, very proud to be at the Mirage.
What's interesting about you is that you have this class about you, which is obvious, but then you add in your talent and you add in what you do with the connection with the audience. It's interesting how quickly you build that rapport. How have you managed to achieve that?
You know, I've come to realize if you undress your soul in front of an audience, they do the same. If you don't, then they don't. It's as simple as that. It's the truth. You know, I'm an old man. You know, I feel like a young man, and I still got young women, but but I feel like you know, I think that this I've learned. If I haven't learned that by now, then I shouldn't be doing what I'm doing. I feel like, you know, you just have to tell the truth. And I think, and when you tell the truth, the people respond to that. And if I'm having a crappy day and I'm pissed off, I'll be pissed off on stage, but not to them, but I'll use the energy, you know. So, and if you're sad, whatever you're feeling, you've got to go on stage in that mindset and go, all right. And then that's why I personally call it Doctor Show. So the show really heals, and heals me, and my sole mission is to make sure that the audience, you know, leave not thinking about their bills and their worries, and then when they feel a connection, we feel a connection to each other, which is, you know, almost 10 years later in this town, it looks like we're doing something right.
The atmosphere you create in a room is so brilliant. Is that down to you, the music, the lighting, the room?
It's down to me. No, it's a team. I've got that's my lovely Dirty Virgins over there. I can actually see in the I'm lucky enough to actually be in my part of the dressing room, but it also is next to the dancers, the Dirty Virgins, and they are a problem for me every night because, as you can see, they're rather beautiful. And,
well, I'm more lucky because I can look at them and you think I'm looking at you, so exactly. This is marvellous.
Yeah, I thought you were undressing me with your eyes, but you're not. I now realise what you're doing.
This is the best dressing room in the world. There are no walls.
The best dressing room in the world. You just named it. There you go. Matt Goss has the best dressing room in the world.
Do you still love it as much as you ever did, walking out in front of that pin focus and then it's the Matt Goss show and you're able to shine?
It's a weird perspective for me. That's not the viewpoint I have on it, but I do enjoy knowing what I can do to an audience if they let me, you know. Sometimes in Britain it's frustrating because it's you know, that we're not meant to, you know, just let ourselves go straight away. But I've been very lucky of late. Of the shows in the UK have been, you know, matching the shows here. Ironically, they're matching the shows in America. But the O2s, the 2 nights at the O2 was just incredible. One of my favorite shows, period, is the Palladium show a while back, and I'm looking forward to play the Palladium again. I can't wait to do the Proms in Hyde Park. I mean, you know, watching the wedding and all that, it's made me so homesick. My God. Really has.
You're one of the coolest guys I've ever met. I wonder whether even you get nervous when you walk out in front of 100,000 people.
You know, I get more nervous when there's less people. I don't get nervous, I get excited. I get excited because I know, you know, I just know what I can do if you let me. So my arrangements of the music that I do, you know, I'll spend weeks and weeks on certain arrangements. The swing ska version of Hotel California is still one of my favorite arrangements, and just, you know, I don't get nervous. I just want to get on with it and just get on the pitch and do what I do. You know, it's just, you know.
Are there moments in your career, obviously Wembley being one, and then the Palladium being another, and you're coming back this year, which is so thrilling. I mean, to walk into that dressing room one where Judy Garland sat, but to know you're going to be live to probably 10 million people as well as the 100,000 in front of you, it's got to be exciting.
Yeah, I mean, I never think about the numbers. I genuinely say this to every audience. A room is a room to me. I consider Hyde Park a room. There's no different to the you know, a few hundred people out there tonight. There's a room is a room. Every audience deserves the same respect, and sometimes a smaller room has people in it that can make you more nervous. But you know, I've sung for the Queen, and I'm such a royalist, as you know. And
did you love today?
I just, you know, I think one of the coolest things in the world is romance. I think any fella, listen, I'm one of the lads, I'm a tough guy, I don't really, I know how I live my life, and, you know, it made me realize one thing, that I am a hopeless romantic, but today I became so unashamedly carefree about how I truly love romance and how I want that in my life, and how it's somewhat eluded me in some ways, and I think that comes from circumstances in my life, from the loss of my sister to the loss of my mother, and trying to keep the family together, our family together, and then the slowly dismantling of our family, and it's just been a bit of a tumultuous ride. And I think this year I'm gonna hopefully, if the dear Lord allows this, to focus on what I want, and I would love to find the love of my life and get married, and it's time, and it's been time for a long time, and I don't know why it's been so elusive in my life, because I'm not, I don't want to look for it, but I'm so ready for it, but I want to find my best friend, you know.
What's interesting about today, you realise none of the pomp and circumstance actually mattered. There were two people who kissed each other and were totally obsessed with each other, and nothing else mattered. And I guess we're all striving for that. What I wonder about you is, you're so handsome and you're so popular and you're so successful. How have you not found it? What chance does it leave a guy like me?
First of all, you and I both know you do very well for yourself. But because I've seen some of the women he turns up with, and they're pretty beautiful. In fact, so beautiful that sometimes I have to just look at him, which is unfortunate, really, for me. But no, I think that people assume a lot. I think that we've all got our insecurities. I'm one of the most confident men you'll meet, but physically I'm not, and we've all got our insecurities. And
we've talked about this before. You know that's ridiculous, right? We haven't got time to go into it now, but you know it's ludicrous sat here looking at you.
No, I have no idea. Genuinely, you know me, and I'm not just saying it. I'm not. I think the thing is, my mum taught me about humility, and I think that no matter how you look, it doesn't give you the right to treat somebody in an ill-mannered way. And I think that you have to treat people with respect. I've gone on a few dates recently, and somebody's, people can be very, very cutting, and I think words matter, and I think that sometimes women are becoming the men they want to be, and what happens with that is when women are losing the power of femininity. And I think what I saw in Megan today is the power of femininity, and I can see why Harry is in love with her, and he's a strong man, but he is also sensitive and caring and very, very confident with himself, but you can see he has his moments, but he carries himself with such grace as a fella, and so does she. It's a very graceful, beautiful thing to watch for me. So I think that words matter, and I think when you're looking at the person you want to love for the rest of your life, you have to consider the things like mortality and potential mortality, and so I know that I don't want to waste much more time, but I know I also can't settle and look for it, as they say. So I hope the dear Lord graces me with the love of my life soon.
I remember a Boy George song once that he wrote that said, "On a clear day I can see myself for a mile," and I don't think you can. I don't think you can see the perspective I'm seeing. That's just life, isn't it, I suppose?
Well, I appreciate you very much. You know, I appreciate you as a person, and I feel the same way about you. I'm interviewed. I did 28 interviews today, and at the Billboard Awards media room, and I've got a new record coming out, and I can actually say it's called Red Flares, and I'm extremely, extremely proud of it. I've worked very, very hard. I've got the best team of my life around me, but I feel perspective is everything, and your words, like they often do, they will resonate with me and keep me company for a while, but that doesn't change my perspective of myself. So all I can do really is try and make my mum proud. As an entertainer, that's what I want to do. I want to make sure that they don't have a worry in the world, but I'll also go home alone. So that's the big difference, and that's what I want to change. I have some incredible moments in my life that I want to start sharing. Listen, I see the ironic side of it, but at the same time, I actually want to come home more. I want to come home more. I don't want to come home just for the random gig. I'd love to be I always say this, I'd love to be a judge on one of those shows, or I think I've navigated the industry pretty well. I have a good perspective. I'm honest as in regards to how I feel about talent. And if somebody had told me, that you'd be playing Hyde Park, headlining alongside Mariah Carey at Blackpool, and that you'd be a headliner in Vegas 10 years, and I probably would not have sweat the small stuff quite as much. And I think I would hope that my mum is proud of me, and
But she always was.
Yeah, but I think that when I lost my mum, I feel like there was a sense of, now she can see and hear, and it's been brilliant for me, because now I'm even more candid, and I'm even more, what you see is what you get with me. So I feel like you are dead right. I just feel like such a young man. I'm sure you can relate to this. I feel like such a young man inside, and I feel a genuine, and I'm blessed with this. This is something I am blessed with. I am blessed with the wonderment of still being in awe of the smallest thing, and then the most beautiful hotel room. I'll be like, how am I still traveling like this? People will come up to me in the UK and go, Matt, or even meet and greets. I wanted to meet you for 26 years. It's always 26. I don't know why, but so I always wonder why that was me. But when I do watch something so momentous as a royal wedding today, and with all those wonderful people and stuff, I would like to be part of the British community a bit more. And what I mean by that is I want to figure out a way, possibly even to slow down, but maybe do something in the UK where I can do something more on a regular basis, because I do miss my country, and I do miss my country.
What about radio? This is a good place to find a new audience.
Radio, I would love to do. Obviously, I do Matt Goss at midnight on BBC Radio 2 every Christmas, and I've spoken to the BBC about I would love to do more. But something like that, without question, where I can even record it from here. What I'd love to do is I'd love to interview people, because I've been interviewed all my life. So I don't think there's anybody in the world that would intimidate me, but I know that questions sometimes that I would like to be asked. So I'd like to do something where...
It's the easiest gig in the world. You need no talent.
That's not true. The funny thing is, when you're interviewed by somebody that doesn't research or doesn't understand where you are or who you are,
right,
it can be a very, very tedious thing. But you are truly, not just saying it, you are truly one of my favourite interviews. I know I say it every time. I think over the years, people like yourself become a very nice, familiar place for me. So over the years, journalists and DJs and hotel general managers and doormen at the Savoy have become an extended family to me. It's strange how, and I think some entertainers that may see this, that will go, I know exactly what you mean. Like, right. I'll go back to London, and the Savoy is my home, and there are certain places. I'm a creature of habit, so the one thing both myself and my brother we just cannot do without is our privacy, and that's something that's just become something that's allows me to breathe easier in a way.
I get it, but the tough thing is you have to give some of that away to do what you do. It's part of the job, isn't it?
Oh, I love people, but I think that going into one of the things that's happened really recently in the last 2 weeks of my life, I do 150 plus shows a year in America, and I do around 3 or 4 a year in the UK. That has to change for me. And also what I do, and this the fact that I'm one of the creators of the Broadway and West End rendition of Upstairs Downstairs. I know how brilliant it's starting to feel, and I can't wait for that side of my life. And maybe that will I might slow down for a second at that point and then enjoy and watch this beautiful musical that we're creating, and that may be it. But I know how remarkable it is turning up tonight and knowing that I get to make people feel good and remove hopefully some of their fears and just make them feel amazing. That's very important to me. I'm purely talking it as a Brit. I mean, it's the last couple of weeks and seeing the build up and seeing some of the familiar architecture and the countryside. The Brits come out to see me. Honestly, the Brits come out to see me, and they say one thing that actually keeps me going as an entertainer. They say, "We're so proud of you." So if you have to understand, it's just the way we all operate differently, and their pride. And when they say, "We're so proud of you, Matt," I'm just like, I don't ever want that awe of those sentences, especially when you get a big burly guy from up north going, "We're so proud of you, Matt," and you see many guys now come to my show. Those days are finally over where guys feel weird about coming to see my show. But you'll see, I'll sing my way, and you'll just see a guy just sit there and just let those tears fall in a real masculine way, and it's an amazing experience. But I mean, it's a beautiful thing, and just to have fun and the comedic side of my show. I'm actually funnier than I actually look. I mean, I'm actually, but I don't know what it is. When I'm on stage, I'm a little.
Try a ginger wig or something.
Ginger wig? No, that's just that would be tragic.
Wounding.
You have fantastic hair. It's fantastic hair. That's all I can say. I've never had that much hair in my entire life. So.
Yeah, I think that's the least of your worries. Matt Goss, listen, it's always nice seeing you. Come here to Oake at Mirage. It's a beautiful room with a beautiful show and an amazing talent. You can see him this summer coming to the Party in the Park with the Proms, which is this glorious show. Huge talent at Hyde Park. You're all going to enjoy that with BBC Radio 2. And then, of course, you're going to be doing the Mariah Carey show and the Palladium. Big year for you, and you continue here in Las Vegas as a headliner. Never second guess it, never question it, never knock it, because you're doing the business and you're turning up every night making people very happy. Thank you for your time.
This is one of the nicest people. I'm interviewed all the time, and this person really genuinely cares for me, and I care for you. So thank you for your time.